Tonight on The Edge, severe storms in Metro Detroit, and President Trump reports to jail.
I really believe this is a very sad day for America. This should never happen.
President Trump surrenders to authorities in Georgia as he's booked on charges of interfering with the 2020 presidential election results. Severe weather moving through Metro Detroit. Rich Luderman is tracking the storms.
I'm trying to walk to my flight. I've just been told by authorities that nothing's getting in or out of McNamara.
Metro Airport flooded out, stranding thousands of travelers. We'll check in on the latest delays and cancellations.
Those stories and more right now.
This is The Edge.
The Edge at 11 starts now.
We are monitoring severe weather across the entire region tonight.
Yeah, you've been hearing it all night here, from tornado warnings to severe thunderstorm warnings. It's been a really rough night. Let's get right to Captain Rich Luderman, who has the latest on these storms. Rich, where are they now?
Good news, Roop and Taryn. They're on the move. You can clearly see this line of showers and storms down over Monroe County, onto the Canadian side of the border on the south end of Lake St. Clair. We can zoom in and show you that the worst of it is certainly gone from Highland and Pontiac. Even downtown Detroit, you're seeing the worst of it move off to your east, but there it is, that heavy line of storms crossing into Windsor, Ontario, and Amherstburg. Here are the active warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings for portions of Wayne and Monroe counties. We have flood advisories up to our north. Remember, we've had rainfall rates 1 to 2 inches per hour as these storms are crossing the area. So all of the threats have been in play, with the gusty winds, the heavy downpours, the lightning, obviously, and we've had a couple of tornado warnings. No active warnings right now. In terms of tornado warnings, 71 degrees over at City Airport. The wind has turned to the north now as that front is working through. Dew points are still way up there. It's muggy for the rest of tonight, but thankfully these numbers have been knocked down a couple of notches. 70 in Pontiac, 72 in Adrian. There's 70 down in Monroe, and all of us have had the heavy downpours. I don't think one community has missed it this evening. I know DTE has better than 100,000 customers without power right now. Here are the current wind speeds. Not that strong, but embedded within are these higher gusts. There's Monroe, 39-mile-per-hour gust in the last 15 minutes. Take a look at the cooler air finally coming our way. We've been waiting for this front to cross the area. It is doing so as we speak, so that sets up a much more comfortable stretch for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Fox Futurecast shows it pretty well. The storm's right over us now, and watch how they quickly race off to the southeast over Lake Erie, down over Toledo, down over Cleveland a little later on tonight. There'll still be a few residual showers through the overnight period, but the severe weather threat is coming to an end. That's our forecast for the rest of tonight. It stays muggy. Storms will slowly be ending from north to south. We're down to 70 degrees. Tomorrow's a different kind of day. Partly cloudy, still humid, but a quiet Friday with a high of 82. And then how about the full 7-day forecast? Are you ready for some nice, pleasant weather? There it is for the weekend. 76 and 75, low humidity Saturday and Sunday, even into next week. No sign of heat or storms in the forecast. Remember, always get that latest forecast. Check the radar. It's on the Fox 2 Weather app. You can download it for free right now in the App Store or in Google Play. Roop Taryn, back to you.
All right. Well, there are reports that a possible tornado hit Livingston County this evening in the Webberville area.
And Fox 2's Dave Kinchen joining us live from the weather beast in that area. And what have you learned about what happened there, Dave?
Well, you know, we just saw a big utility pole that was down across Dietz Road. We're in the land of 517 Williamston area here, and there's cars kind of waiting to see if there's a crew that will completely get that downed utility line off the road here. We also know we see it right in front of us. Actually, there's a crew in front of us there too, and we do know we're right over looks like 96 as well. A massive backup. We're seeing nothing but tail lights out there. We'll show you that when we can, but just saw a whole mess on our way up here. Power out to a lot of people. We saw some people playing cards, using candles for light. We saw at least 2 or 3 stoplights out. There's a 2-story townhouse that has a tree going through it. That's according to some of the first responder radio in Ingham County. Wires that were arching and sparking, according to some of those first responder chats online as they were making calls and trying to get crews to the scene. But here's the wire. If you can see it where we are right now, this is literally we're seeing cars driving over this thing. So they're probably going to have crews rope this off a little bit more. This is a wire that's down on Dietz Road here in the Williamston area. I believe we are actually in Williamston, and crews are further down, it looks like, but I think first responders are trying to get to this area as well and deal with all of this. We actually see the police lights are actually on the highway. So anyway, a pretty crazy scene where we are right now here in Williamston. Again, power out to a lot of people, stoplights out, a tree into a house, we're told, in this area, and but people got out safely, but there were reports of wires arching and sparking there, according to the Ingham County emergency response radio traffic as well, and wires down all over roads like this one here at Dietz Road. Reporting live in Williamston, Dave Kinchen on the Edge.
Yeah, Dave, you're in Williamston, the Webberville area, and that's where the possible tornado hit. We know it's going to take until tomorrow for them to really assess and see if, in fact, a tornado did touch down. But is that the area that you're in right now where it's believed to have touched down?
Yeah, that's really the area we're in, and that's really where by the way, we're still seeing a lot of flashes of lightning coming across the sky, but that is the general area where we are in, because we did pass through a little bit of Webberville coming to here. But yeah, I mean, trees down. We've seen probably, I think actually, about 3 or 4 trees down across roadways here, so definitely that could indicate a lot of that consistent damage.
All right, and if people aren't clear about that exact area, that is in Ingham County, it's outside of Lansing there. We appreciate the update, and I know you'll be continuing to look for any more damage in our viewing area. Thank you so much, Dave.
Well, strong storms overnight, leaving several locations underwater across western Wayne County. I-275 has been left impassable, and I-94 closed all day because of that terrible flooding. And nearby, Vining Road near the airport was blocked by floodwaters. We saw several vehicles stuck in the water. Vining Road has since reopened. These floodwaters surrounding Metro Airport left DTW at a standstill. The terminals were packed with these people whose flights have been canceled or delayed. The
latest from Flight Aware tonight. Over 400 flights have been delayed at DTW, and 177 flights have been canceled. Countless air travelers packed McNamara Terminal this evening, hoping to make their flight. Many helplessly watch the monitors as their plans for the weekend are interrupted.
Our plan is hopefully we can get onto this flight so that we can at least get to Salt Lake City tonight. That's the plan. But if they don't let us do that, then I don't know. We're stuck here,
The Wayne County Airport Authority said one of its pump stations lost power this morning, leading to the flooding outside of the airport.
And we should tell you, we have a Fox 2 crew member who's actually waiting for a flight at the airport. He said they're telling everybody to stay away from the windows with all those high winds right now.
Sure.
So still things are a little dicey. Not far from DTW, a new Boston community finds itself underwater tonight. It's one of many neighborhoods in our area dealing with flooding.
Governor Whitmer has issued a state of emergency in response to the flooding and the damage to help get people the much needed resources. Fox 2's Camila Murray giving us now a closer look.
They are kayaking down the roads because the water is so high. It is up to my knees.
Swan Creek Mobile Home Park in New Boston flooded.
My car can't get out. My dad came to rescue us and his truck could barely make it out. There's people in kayaks in the park, and my neighbor's got his boat out, his little rowboat out, and trying to get to the mailbox.
This all due to torrential rain Wednesday night into Thursday morning. New Boston and other parts of Wayne County hit particularly hard.
Climate change, as you talked about, is something that is creating these once in a lifetime, once every 500-year events like every other year. And this is not the first time that we've had historic levels of flooding, and I worry that it's not going to be the last.
Wayne County is working on ways to improve and enhance infrastructure so this doesn't become a regular occurrence. But in the meantime, some people are forced to deal with the floodwaters.
The water was up like 3.5 feet?
It's all the way up to my waist.
My car was full.
I was calling you guys because you guys' is underwater. There's a ton of cars like this.
Chelsea Elka says this is the third time the trailer park has flooded since she's lived here.
You see all the sewage, and there's kids swimming in that park, and there's kids swimming in the water, but it's sewage water. It's making my legs itch just from the little bit that I was in it.
Floodwater is a serious hazard. It's a threat to health and safety. If you do encounter floodwater, please stay out of it. And that's because it can contain things like chemicals or sewage or live wires or sharp objects that folk can injure themselves on.
In New Boston, Camila Murray on the Edge.
Everyone's cars are fully underwater or submerged halfway. No one can start their cars. It's all the way up to our houses, going under our trailers.
What a nightmare. Huron Township is another community hit hard by the overnight storms. Now, this is video from the Country Meadows mobile home community. Floodwaters there damaged homes and vehicles.
He was not smiling for the camera. A mugshot of former President Donald Trump is released after he's booked in a Georgia jail.
He surrendered to authorities tonight on charges of attempting to interfere with the 2020 presidential election results. Fox's Sharon Crowley has more on his day in jail.
This is a very sad day for America. This should never happen. If you challenge an election, you should be able to challenge an election.
That's former President Donald Trump, moments after his history-making surrender and arrest at the Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, Georgia. The 45th President of the United States was booked like a common criminal, including getting fingerprinted and having his mugshot taken. Trump arrived on his private plane with a large motorcade to face charges he illegally tried to overturn his loss in Georgia in the 2020 election.
What has taken place here is a travesty of justice. We did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And everybody knows it.
The Fulton County District Attorney accuses Trump and 18 others, including his former chief of staff and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, of unlawfully trying to subvert the will of voters and pressuring election officials to reverse the results.
The basic charge is that all 19 conspired to overturn the election in Georgia, knowing that what they were doing was fraudulent. The defense is going to be that we were doing the same thing that many other political figures have done over the years.
This is Trump's fourth arrest in as many states. Despite his legal troubles, he remains the Republican frontrunner in the race for president. In fact, after each indictment, Trump has raised more money from his supporters. Now Trump's surrogates are vowing to use his new mugshot to further increase his campaign's war chest.
Donald Trump may be the only person in the history of politics in this nation who is attempting to turn it into a positive. I got indicted for you, he said. I am a martyr.
Sharon Crowley, Fox News.
Well, we are expecting to learn tomorrow whether the UAW will authorize a strike.
The results of a vote by union members will be announced at 11 tomorrow morning by UAW President Shawn Fain. The UAW's contract with the big three automakers expires on September 14th. Union members have been holding practice pickets. Locally, one took place yesterday outside Stellantis' Mack assembly in Detroit. Bargaining, which has been tense, began in mid-July.